Hey, it's Isaac here today, and I'll be making Coca Tea Bulletproof Coca Tea coffee, however you want to say that. Basically, it's like the Bulletproof recipe, but except instead of using coffee, you swap in coca. You can also do the same thing with like green tea, yerba mate tea, stuff like that. You can even use like just plain vanilla, like a grit of vanilla. You don't have to use coffee. Now to start with, I'll get up in the morning. I'll use like my distilled water or spring water, whatever I have that doesn't have chloride in it. I usually use about a cup and a half, sometimes two. So what I often do when my water is boiling, I'll go ahead and take my cup. I'll go ahead and like mix in my powders. Now this is my chocolate powder that I already have pre-mixed in my vitamin B8, D-Ribose, and collagen protein, as well as vanilla. And these are the coffee beans. I'm going to grind those up. Now today I will be using coconut cream. I get like the organic stuff online. It's a bit expensive, but it's worth it. It's good stuff. I'll go ahead and dump my MCT oil in. About 2 tablespoons. Now with MCT oil, when you first start, you probably won't want to go over 1 tablespoon. Too much will possibly give you disaster pants if you don't know how to digest the fat very well. Just a note. Now today I won't use a ton of butter. Oftentimes I'll use about twice as much butter, but the water's pretty much done. It's at a boil. That's cool. Now when your water's at a full boil, and this is a bit of a Turkish method right here, is you want to take your water off, which I boil mine on the stove. Give that a second. And dump this in. Now, I like Turkish coffee. Like I used a normal grinder, and I'll be soon getting like a Turkish grinder, and those work a lot better. The Turkish pot will work as well too, but those can typically cost a bit more. Bring it to a nice little boil again. We'll do that 3 times. Set a boil, take it off, let it stop. This is something I learned online when you make Turkish coffee. Now the coffee beans I'm using are got a little bit old, so they don't make as much crema, which is that nice frothy stuff on top when you cook the coffee. So this is like I have like 2 more days left to beans, and I have to get some more. And it came to a 3rd boil, so we'll take that off. Now you may notice I did use 2 different stoves because I felt weird using this thing being open. I was like, that's gonna be scary. So I went and used the other one, so I have my little blue pot out. Now I'll go ahead and just pour all this off with the grinds. Another note is the way I cook the grinds and everything here. A lot of times we would want to separate those out. You want to use a filter, which you don't really have to. Is because when you take them off the stove, when you put them in the hot water that's not at a boil and then put it back in, the grinds settle to the bottom a lot faster, so you can drink it and the grinds won't come up. Also, if you do like the Turkish grind, do the fine powder. Like you can actually grind coffee to where it's like a fine powder, like chocolate powder. You don't have to have granular, and it works so much better. And then you can actually like drink the sludge in the bottom. Now something I do weird. Like if it's just me making coffee, I typically shake mine up. If I can get it to sit. Now I like to shake mine up like I just did. And that's the coffee. Now we're going to go to make the coca tea just about the same way. It'll stuff the butter and everything into it, so I'll go ahead and add that. And some people I've had here absolutely love the Bulletproof coca tea, and some people don't like it. It depends, like if you like green tea, you'll probably like coca because it tastes nearly exactly the same, except it has a natural sweetness to it. And I'll go ahead and throw some coconut cream into it as well. I don't know, I'm just in love with coconut cream today, as well as a nice swig of MCT. Like before, I'm still using this stove because it just seems safer. And the coca tea is the same way. If like you cook it at a boil, it will come off a little weird. So you want to take it off where it's not a fresh boil. Coca tea, you don't need that much. I can probably use a little more. I'm just going to mix this in. Bring it to a boil. This time I'll only do it once. It's at a boil again. Awesome. Now what I'm about to do here is something you won't see everyone do. This is a aerial press. The design, as you would think, probably will explain itself in a moment. Dump all that in. Now I do it this way because there's a lot of alkaloids, and when like you cook them, if you just dump this in there, all the alkaloids would settle at the bottom, like a lot of the beneficial stuff will. And this way, I get a lot of it out. I just want to get all that plant matter that's in there, which I do sometimes drink it with the plant matter. I mean, it doesn't add very much. It's just like pulp. You don't notice it. But sometimes I do, but I also just want to show off the aerial press, which is pretty cool. Some people love these things, some people don't. And the process is the same. Shake. Now, like I said before, I'm making a large batch and it's for more than just me. Oops. Now I do the same process. I mix it up. It gets a nice, good head of foam. And now as you see here, I have my Bulletproof hot chocolate / coffee, as well as my Bulletproof coca tea, which is pretty amazing. I only made a small glass because I have to drink both of those. Now, the process I did probably took a bit longer than it should because I'm trying to like operate a camera and get different angles, and I'll make 2 jars at the same time of different things. In the morning, it takes me about 4 minutes. These are my two favorite versions of Bulletproof coffee or Bulletproof tea. You can add different powders and such. I'll have different recipes below if you want. They make different effects. Dave Asprey's will have some more links. I'll put a lot of links below, so check out the description. A lot of times with this coffee, like it's the only thing I have in the morning, so I will put eggs in it often, like I've mentioned. I make this like a really nutrient dense like breakfast. Like it's a lot healthier than anything else I can think to make. That's gonna be this fast. It gets me through the day for about 4 to 6 hours. Like I don't have a lot of weight on me, so I burn through the coffee, even like a third stick of butter in there. About 4 hours in, I'm starving again. I'm like, where's food? And it's all because of my age too. I have to eat all the time. I will have the coffee or Coca tea or whatever it is to make about twice a day, and then I'll have an actual meal at the end. And that seems to work pretty well. It's something I've started this year. I'm liking it a lot, so I think I'll stick to it. And also stays a lot cheaper that way too, so I'm happy. But yeah, so if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, share, subscribe, and I'll be sure to make more awesome content. Stay frosty. For looking for the types of butter you need, the MCT oil and all that, look at the description below. Resources that tell you where to get like the certain forms you need, as well as where it's going to be cheapest and all that, and more on what this coffee is and what it does, because I'm trying to make this about how to make it. And Coca tea coffee is amazing.